Well, kia ora and welcome everyone back to Chisholm Links here in Dunedin under the sunshine, but now in the wind. We've got a gusty westerly blowing just in time to make a gritty senior men's and senior women's National Cross Country Challenge 2020 edition. It is great to be here in Dunedin. My name is Hayden Sherman and joined with me in studio is Jason Cameron, former New Zealand representative in the cross country. He knows a thing or two about it. Let's talk through this upcoming race, Jason. There's some big names lining up. There's obviously a lot of names missing who are stuck in Auckland during lockdown. But how are we thinking this race is going to unfold? 10,000 metres, 5 laps of this 2K track?
Oh, well, I've heard that term before. It's going to be a war of attrition, perhaps. 5 laps of this hilly 2,000 metre circuit, 23, 24 metres of vertical ascent each lap, which doesn't seem like a lot, but believe me, when you go out round that course today, it's a roller coaster. There's a bit of wind to contend with now. Quality fields, both men and women, to round out this New Zealand cross-country challenge.
Absolutely. So we'll go through the start list shortly, and we'll also give you an overview of what that course looks like. It's certainly the local organising committee have done a fantastic job to secure this golf course. It's right on the coast here, in beautiful surrounds. And here we've got Rebecca Green and Ollie Chignell, 2 local heroes who are going to be lining up on the start line in about 7 minutes. And so they're going to jog us through the course. So this is the start and finish area, just near the club rooms there. And then they head out on 2 butterfly wings, essentially. So each of those wings is about 1,000 metres long. And each of them starts with a grind up of about 500 metres. And then it's mostly downhill back to the club rooms and the start-finish line there. So there you can see the grind starts to happen just 300 metres into the course.
Yeah, and it's not a manicured golf course underfoot, so it's got a bit of unevenness. There's a few rabbit holes here and there that haven't been filled in, and it's got a good covering of grass. So it's not like running on a golf green. So there has some challenge there, and some sharp little ascents and descents. A very traditional New Zealand cross-country course. It probably is going to suit the strength runners today, but you're going to have some good speed as well, because there's some long sweeping downhills where you're going to need to maintain contact with the pack.
So those 2 on screen, they will know this terrain pretty well. I don't think Ollie ran in the Otago Champs, which was run on the same course 3 weeks ago, but he's obviously become reasonably familiar with it. Now, he won the national cross-country title 2 years ago, and looking through that senior men's history, Cam Graves, Aucklander, he's unable to make it really sadly, so he won last year in Wellington. The year before that was Ollie Chignell. Craig Lautenslager, before that Jonathan Jackson, another Aucklander. Malcolm Hicks, who's over in London. He has a ticket booked for the Tokyo Olympics. Hopefully that goes ahead in the marathon. Callan Moody before him, Malcolm Hicks, Sam Refford, Matt Smith, Alex Parlane, Andrew Davidson, Ben Ruth. They're the last 11 years of results in the senior men. So it's the who's who of distance running, domestic distance running. And what a title to get to your running CV. Of course, this is an official national champs. It's been relabeled the National Cross Country Challenge. So just to account for the fact that a third of the country are unable to make it. So Aucklanders, we feel you. We are there with you in spirit, and I know a lot of you will be tuned in to the action and eagerly awaiting how this senior race unfolds.
And what a beautiful, majestic shot that is, just out seeing the breakers along St Kilda Beach there, and that's not too far away from where we're sitting right now, and this crowd is building for this feature race, the last race of the New Zealand Cross Country Challenge. And the women will also be running 5 2,000 metre laps, as we see Sam Tanner, one of the favourites for today, and Hayden Wilde there just coming into the picture, and Sabrina Grogan there just on the side view there from Canterbury with the ponytail. She'll be up there in the women's race, so a lot to look forward to.
So the field: Jack Flanagan from Canterbury, Logan Slee of Otago, Buddy Small of Southland, Nathan Cochrane of Otago, Lachlan Haycock of Waikato Bay of Plenty, Seamus Kane of Wellington, Saxon Morgan of Canterbury, Samuel Tanner of Waikato Bay of Plenty, Christopher Dryden of Canterbury. We could flick over to the next page. And Dylan Ford of Canterbury, Connor Melton of Canterbury, Jack Shaw of Otago, Janus Stauffenberg of Otago. He won on this course a couple of weeks ago for the Otago champs. Ollie Chignell, Harry Ewing of Waikato Bay of Plenty, Hayden Wilde, Waikato Bay of Plenty. He is certainly one of the key names to watch. Liam McDonald of Wellington, Taylor Reid of Auckland, another triathlete. We've had quite a few triathletes lining up in this race.
And Joshua Barn from Hill City, former New Zealand representative, junior men's winner in 2014. Matt Dryden from Canterbury, Samuel Bremer from Otago, Kirk Madgwick from Otago, Michael Sutton from Waikato Bay of Plenty, Isaac Murphy from Wellington, Thomas Richards,
and
Oscar Baines, Aaron Pulford, Daniel Redman, Daniel Belchin, Nathan Shantz, Ben Pegu, Caden Shields, Oliver Sullivan, Nick Bathgate in the men's. And quickly running through the women's, Charlotte Carpenter, Emily Malloy, Olivia Gold, Eva Goodison, one of the athletes to watch out for today, Natalie Dryden, Cara McDermott, another one to feature perhaps, Jessica Schofield, Rebecca Green, the local hope, Sabrina Grogan, Deborah Lynch, Sabrina Perez, and Lydia Patilio.
All right, so we're off in the senior men's, senior women's 2020 Athletics New Zealand Cross Country Challenge. You can see a fair bit of bargy. There's a lot going on here. Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit like a 1,500 metre final at the moment as the athletes just jockey for position in this first downhill section, and we see Ollie Chignell go straight to the front, and Hayden Wilde heading out to the left there with the man bun, as he likes to call it.
And from what I could see, leading out the woman, Eva Goodison from Hawke's Bay Gisborne was looking in a pretty good position there in the middle.
What did we hear? We were speculating what might happen, Hayden, and it seems that Hayden has hit the front already.
Yeah, so interesting tactic. So he's basically laying out there, boys, if you want to come with me, I've just recently in lockdown ran a 13:20 something time trial in my neck of the woods in Tauranga. So I'm here to run fast. If you want to come with me, good luck. But I'm already the only one in the picture.
I have to say I'm not surprised by this, seeing Hayden win the Waikato Championships a month ago, and he made a real it made it a formality, really, even though Sam Tanner was his compatriot and clubmate was in second place. He really ran away with that race too, so he's in the form of his life, and you'd expect him to really be assertive today.
So Eva Goodison and Rebecca Green were 1-2 in the women's race there. So Hayden Wilde just pulling away. And let me run through the other names that we've kind of circled to give you an idea of who he's just put already 20, 30 metres lead on.
I think that's Jana Stauffenberg in second place from Otago.
Yeah, so he knows this course really well. So there's Taylor Reid. 2018, he was the under-23 world triathlon champion. Daniel Belchin came second in this race twice, 2017, 2019. Look at this lead that Stauffenberg has just eaten up of Hayden Wilde. Nice catching. Oscar Baines, multiple New Zealand half marathon champ and marathon champ, qualified for the World Half Marathon Champs. Caden Shields, 10,000 metre champ from last year, and 2019 World Champs marathon representative, came 30th place. Ollie Chignell, he's won this event before. silver in the 5,000 metres last year. Look at all those guys coming down that hill.
Aaron Pulford is just making his way into third now. So he should be in the mix today too. This course will suit him well. 2019
road champs for Aaron Pulford. And then we've got Chris Dryden, 2018 World Junior champs for the 10,000 metres. Seamus Kane, he's the Wellington road and cross-country champion. Far out. There's so many very talented athletes. And for this to already be a two-horse race, Hayden's kind of saying, okay, let's share the lead. So 1,000 metres into it. So just a tick over 3,000 metres through there. So about 3-minute Ks, which on this course is definitely not hanging around. Now, Stauffenberg ran 33.30 on the same course. Probably similar wind conditions to this. So that gives you an idea. He's well ahead of that pace which he ran on this course 3 weeks ago. Admittedly, mostly solo. But this is going to be interesting. Have these two gone out too hard at the start? Will they pay for it? Will the pack be able to reel them in? We will have to wait and see. So I think I saw some of the senior women athletes run through there just before. And there you can see Rebecca Green, Cara McDermott, and Eva Goodison. So those three are your women to watch at the moment. So Eva Goodison wearing the Hawke's Bay Gisborne, then Rebecca Green, and Cara McDermott, and who have we got in the Wellington singlet there? Is that...
Is that Charlotte Carpenter, perhaps, from Wellington? Maybe not. Deborah Lynch it is, from Olympic Harrier and Athletics Club from Wellington. So she's in 4th place, usually a triathlete. And getting back into some cross-country running.
So you can see the sort of hills that they're having to deal with, particularly this one on the back part of the course. A little pinchy hill. And here's our leaders. So we've got Stauffenberg and Hayden Wilde. So Stauffenberg's been having some fantastic form this year, and I understand he's also a triathlete.
I think he's been on the New Zealand Junior High Performance program previously, but yeah, the pace looked like it had just dropped off a bit there, and Hayden sort of made another move, shall we say, and definitely picked up that pace. And Stauffenberg had to do a bit of work to get back onto Hayden earlier in the lap. So I'm just wondering, he's still hanging in there and looking reasonably relaxed. So it's early days, just finishing this first 2,000 metres. It looks like it'll be pretty close to 6 minutes or thereabouts.
So the other name that I didn't mention is this guy's training mate, Sam Tanner. So 2019 1,500 metre national champion. As they just coming up to click through 2K. So the pace is fast, but for a man of this guy's strength and stamina, it's not what you'd expect as being out of control for this guy. So you can see Oscar Baines just bringing up the chasing pack.
Yeah, I think this course is going to suit Oscar today. I stand to be corrected on that, but yeah, he's the marathon man. Ran that fantastic 2 hours 18 minutes at Christchurch in near Arctic temperatures last year, winning that. So he's a real strong man. It's going to suit him as we flick back to the ladies, the women.
Yeah, so Eva Goodison, another of our triathletes. She's actually based at the University of California, Davis. She's got some really handy times. So she's running the mid-16s for 5K, mid-9s for 3K. And
she was second in the Waikato Champs recently. So she's had a competitive outing over this distance already in recent times, which is really essential when you're preparing for these big races.
So Cara McDermott, she was second at the National Cross Country Champs last year. Also second in the 1,500 metres, just behind Angie Petty. And then Rebecca Green was third in the national cross-country champs last year and the year before, and third in the 2020 1500 metre champs. So I'm sure that Rebecca would love to get some gold to those thirds, and I'm sure that Cara would love to be able to go one better. But at the moment, it's Eva doing the work into this headwind. So as they turn around there, they will feel the teeth of that westerly, just trying to slow them down as much as possible. But as long as they're running together, they'll conserve a bit of energy. Now back to our race leader.
It looks like it's a pretty decisive break now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting with Stauffenberg whether those matches that he burnt catching Hayden Wilde up after Hayden put in that strong first 500, whether that's just going to leave some deadness in the legs for the later stages of the race. But at the moment, Hayden's looking very controlled. His coach, Craig Kirkwood, will be trackside and giving him, there he is, in the puffer jacket and the sunnies on, giving him instructions, motivation.
Yeah, so I know they ran the Waikato champs. Craig and Hayden plotted that race a month ago, and Hayden ran at a tempo pace for 2 laps and then steady state for a 3rd lap and then brought it home from there. So, yeah, look, he's just in a rich vein of form. Obviously, we've seen what he's been doing on the Strava segments, that fantastic 5K during lockdown, the virtual 5,000 metres, tempoed under 30 minutes for 10K, and who can forget that memorable first 5,000 metre track title, edging
Matt Baxter
in Christchurch.
Amazing. And there's Stauffenberg as he goes over the hill. So they've passed 3K now, a tick over 9 minutes. So probably holding around 9:06, 9:07 per K for Hayden Wilde. And there's the pack. There's the chasing pack. So that's what Stauffenberg needs to be aware of. He's having to do a lot of work by himself. And right behind him is a big pack of guys who all get to share the lead and work off each other. You can see that gap there. What is it, about 5 or 6 seconds? So it's not long, but that's a big pack. So in there you've got
that's Chris Dryden,
Sam Tanner,
in
Chris Dryden, Dan Belchin's in there. Oscar Baines is just at the back of that pack now. Aaron Pulford. We've got some talented runners. Well, yeah. I don't want to say all because we're missing some of the top guys, i.e. Cam Graves, Peter Wheeler, but we've got some of the absolute big names of domestic distance running in New Zealand here in that pack. Hayden Wilde is gapping them at the moment. He's probably got about 100 metres on the pack. And these three continue to work together. Eva breaking the wind for the other two. Let's see how they tackle this. They'll have to come down that steep hill 5 times. That's the second time. All down safely. And they're looking comfortable. It'll be interesting to see what's going through the mind of Rebecca Green, because she would love to win at this title on her home turf. I'm sure she'll have friends and family and workmates all cheering her along.
Hayden's well into his work now. So he can't be competing in Europe in his favoured triathlon discipline at the moment, but he's certainly pretty motivated out there today. His first time he's running in a cross-country race at this level. I can remember seeing him, 3 or 4 years ago, finishing in the top 5 in the juniors at the North Island cross-country champs, and look at the improvement since then.
I mean, it is just so exciting to have a triathlete who's getting the running community just as excited about him as the triathlon community is.
Natalie Dryden there from Canterbury.
So we think she's in 4th place. So 20 seconds or so behind that front pack of 3 women. But here he comes again.
And he's taking his splits by the looks of things. So they're running to a plan here.
So whether that's the 4K split for them there, possibly it is.
Stauffenberg having a look around there, so one feels that he is going to settle into this pack and try and recover a bit from those early efforts on the first lap, as we see the Canterbury champion Chris Dryden, number 349. He won the Canterbury champs in 30 minutes or a shade over earlier in the month. Sam Tanner tucked in behind Chris, and we can see Oscar Bain still out there on the left, number 367.
Yeah, Ollie Chignall's just in there as well. So look for, we saw earlier in the day,
Kane as well.
a lot of the athletes who stayed in the pack and stayed out of that wind, let the others do the work, performed really well in the back half of the race. So Connor Melton coming through, he was 6th last year.
Daniel Belchin, former medalist in the senior men's race, 371 there. And there's the triathlete, 358.
Is that Taylor Reid?
Taylor Reid, 2023 World Under-23 Triathlon Champion, I heard you say this morning.
So back in 2018, the Under-23 World Triathlon Champion. Also a medalist, bronze medalist in the mixed relay team at the Com Games on the Gold Coast.
There's Kirk Madgwick from from Otago. Better get that one right.
And here are our 3 leaders in the women's race. Great to see these 3 working together. It's going to be really interesting to see how this unfolds.
Yeah, you wonder how much Rebecca Green, how much of her training's been around here in the last month. She'll know every nook and cranny of this 2,000 metre circuit.
Yeah, if I'm Eva Goodison, I don't want either of these girls sitting on my shoulder, because you'd know the talent of them, and you'd know the fact that they've medalled in national 1,500 metre champs. They have to have a good set of wheels to do that. And Eva has led them out for 2 laps already into this wind. And so is that going to be too much? Is it going to deaden her legs? You can see Cara just puffing a little bit, having to work to stay on, but still saving energy at the back there. It's a definite energy saving, just tucking in out of the wind. And Rebecca looking relaxed and composed.
Yeah, it's a long way to be taking the wind, so you definitely want to just conserve energy and make sure you got plenty left for the last half of the race.
And I think that's back to 4th place, so Deborah Lynch. So that's around about 300 or 400 metres. So as long as those 3 girls up the front make it to the end, you'd think that's where the medals are going to come from. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in the final 6K of this event. If there's anything you learn running long distance cross country, is that you just keep running, because you don't know what's going to happen in front of you, and often people fall apart that were looking strong early on.
And Deborah Lynch still looking very relaxed there. She's still holding 4th place.
And it's Natalie Dryden is in 5th place back there.
And there's Sabrina Grogan, the doctor, the flying doctor from Timaru, formerly from Tauranga. So Sabrina is former New Zealand mountain running champion, winner of the GOAT Alpine Adventure Run in Tongariro National Park, more noted as a endurance mountain runner, but she'll probably like some of these hilly conditions today too.
So that's going to be a very good. If Wilde does what we would predict he
Got
could do and continue to run a race.
Emily Malloy from the University of Canterbury Athletic Club in Canterbury. First time running at this level, great to see.
And Olivia Gold just behind her, and Jessica Schofield. So really strong running from these girls as they come through 4K, and when you think that it's just a tick over 4-minute Ks over a hilly course, they're working really hard.
Sabina Perez from the North Harbour Bays Club, just gone out of the picture.
All right, so Hayden Wilde looking strong as ever ticking that cadence along. He looks nice and relaxed. He's got that good economical arm carriage. And then when you actually look down at the amount of distance he's chewing up with every stride, you get an idea of how quick this boy's moving. So probably around 3 minutes per K, even over all these hills. So he's coming up towards 6K. And at the moment, he has a very commanding lead. Now
this is looking ominous.
Yeah, this is looking very ominous. So, Jason, as we came into this weekend, you and I had a good chat with some other members of the athletics community, and we all acknowledge this guy's your big favourite. But how do you take it to him when he's such a favourite? So one idea was that you go hard from the start, and he totally negated that right from the start. With after 100 metres, he just took off. So.
Yeah, so we recently had the Athletics New Zealand high performance camp in Rotorua in the North Island. Hayden was there with some 20 other of the guys training for a couple of weeks, and you really saw his just work ethic and appetite for hard work. And he was really looking forward to this race a couple of months ago. So, and many of the viewers will understand that he's actually a triathlete first and foremost. So running is a big part of triathlon and what he does, but it's definitely his secondary discipline, so to speak. We're hoping that we'll see him in the Olympics next year in the triathlon. Here's the second group. I think Caden Shields coming into prominence there with Ollie Chignall, Chris Dryden, Sam Tanner and Oscar Baines.
So that lead is absolutely mammoth. I wrote down a split for Sam Tanner as he came through 6K, which is that orange cone just on the right of the course. So he came through at 18:44, so they are a minute 7 down. 1 minute 7, 67 seconds down.
At halfway.
At 6K.
6K.
So, is it too early to say this is a battle for silver?
Commentator's curse, Hayden, but yeah. it really is looking fairly telling at this stage, and it is not unexpected, really. Some quality runners back in the field here and former medalists.
Absolutely, and he's just looking so composed, really.
But when you've got a VO2 max in the early 90s...
In the stratosphere.
Yeah. We've got an aerobic powerhouse here.
Yeah, and I guess when we're talking tactics, if you are Hayden Wilde, you know that there's guys who could probably outkick you if you leave it to the last 300-400 metres. You know, your own training buddy, Sam Tanner, Ollie Chignall's got a great set of wheels. You know, you wouldn't leave it up to a gamble over the last lap. So it's a smart move by Hayden Wilde to just take it out from the front. Say, if you want to come with me, give it a whirl, but it's going to be around about 3-minute Ks. And already he's opened up that 67-second lead over the pack.
Look, I'm just trying to think back to the biggest winning margins in a cross-country championship event. I think of the likes of Phil Costley, Jonathan Wyatt, perhaps have achieved that. Hayden Wilde's well on his way to doing something similar today.
I mean, the speed he's just clicking off these laps. I almost can't keep up on what part of the course he's at. So I believe he's just gone through 7K. Again, he's staying on about 305, 306 per K. Which
is under 31 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah, and on this course, in this wind, that is just phenomenal running. So we've seen a split up with this group of three. Cara McDermott looks like she may have dropped out of that picture. We'll wait and see as they come around the bend. They're coming up towards the 6K mark. So it's Eva Goodison and Rebecca Green, the local hope. Eva Goodison back from scholarship. There you can see Cara. So she's had a tricky old third lap. But these two are staying strong, and still Eva is in the lead, and Rebecca's just happy to sit on her shoulder. Let Eva know that, hey, I'm right here. So they go through in 22:48 for 6K. Let's try and get a split back to Cara if we can. So she's about 13 seconds back. And we know it's a big gap from third back to fourth in this women's race. So these three are really the women to beat. And it looks like it's coming down to a two-horse race. As you can see, all the support there for the local favourite, Rebecca Green. I'm sure she'll have lots of friends and family out cheering her along as we go back to Hayden Wilde. He's just looked over his shoulder and seen the start and finish line, because when he reaches that in about 300 or 400 metres time, he's only going to have one lap to go.
Yeah, so his coach Craig Kirkwood hinted earlier today that there might be a surprise tactic in terms of what we could expect from Hayden today. And yeah, he's really thrown the gauntlet down from the start.
Impressive front running. And we saw a similar thing to, big shout out to Cam Graves, who I'm sure will be tuning in. We saw a similar thing to Cam Graves kind of midway through last year's National Cross Country Champs, where he just took the race by the scruff of the neck and took hold of it a little bit earlier with his move, this time with Hayden Wilde. And I've got to say, that gap just continues
to grow.
So Debbie Lynch there just coming through with 2 laps to go. Now all these women are running fantastic times, and they're about to be lapped in a 5-lap course, which under normal circumstances would be a bit discouraging. But when you see over your shoulder coming one of the greatest triathlon talents we've seen out of this country, and it's just such a shame that the triathlon season's been so affected. So let's say 25:15 at that cone.
There is daylight to second at the moment.
Yeah, it's just a shame we haven't been able to see him in his favoured sport, but great to see him domestically on our shores, showing what sort of an engine this boy's got. And I would love to see him off the bike running at this sort of intensity. And here we go, back to the chasing pack. Now these 3 runners make an interesting final stage of the cross-country challenge, because
Speed
Oscar
versus
Baines,
endurance.
he's your diesel engine. He'll just be able to go and go. Sam Tanner is the opposite end of the spectrum. He's your wheels guy, national 1500 metre champ last year. And then you've got Ollie Chignall, also wheels, but also endurance. So what's it going to come down to? Who's going to have it? Oscar's in the right place right now. You want to be in the lead, setting the pace, trying to take the speed out of these guys' legs.
Yeah, Caden Shields in no man's land there, just trying to get back onto that group. Chris Dryden in similar set of circumstances there. We see Aaron Pulford in the background.
So I can confirm that that lead to first place has grown by about another 8 seconds. So it's now 1:16 is the split. So that is growing and growing, which shows Hayden Wilde by himself is still pulling away from this talented bunch. These 3, like they're all international standard runners. Oscar, he qualified for the World Half Marathon Champs, which was postponed earlier this year. Sam Tanner, he's our leading 1500 metre runner this year in terms of time.
Recently broke the New Zealand Junior 3000 metre record, long-standing record of Richard Potts, stood for 30 years.
So that's to give you an idea of how talented are the guys that are 1:15 behind this guy. Hayden Wilde, here he comes. Is this the finish line in sight? No, you still have another 1,000 metres. Sorry, I got the wrong part of the course. So he's just past 1,000 metres to go, and he's saying goodbye to the start-finish area for the last time, and the next time he sees it, well, he's just coming up to that point. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
It's just so exciting to watch this, isn't it?
It is.
Impressive.
So Ben,
you know, and looking forward to the future. This is the future of New Zealand cross-country running, and imagine if we can send a team to the Paris Olympics in the cross-country, as we were talking about this morning.
Absolutely.
With this guy potentially vying for a spot on our New Zealand team.
How amazing would that be? Do the triathlon, then jump in the cross-country relay. So for those who haven't heard, World Athletics has proposed that in the 2024 Paris Olympics, we have a relay, 2 men, 2 women, each running 2.5k legs around a cross-country course, and each doing it twice, so a 20k total distance. How cool would that be for a team race? It would be so much fun. I've often thought we need a distance race for the Olympics, a distance relay race. Now we might have it.
And I think Hayden might be eyeing up something like that, given that he's a fine exponent of the triathlon relay. And he would love the opportunity to, make history in Paris, perhaps. So that's a long time away, but and obviously we're saddened to hear that the World Cross Country Champs that were due to take place in Bathurst in Australia next year have been postponed, but hopefully they're going to be back in this part of the world soon too.
So here he goes. He's inside his last 600-700 metres. He's got the little man bun going. Got the long socks on, checking down to make sure he hit his Strava segment. And these 3 stuck neck and neck together. Now, this is where it gets dangerous for Oscar, because those 2 guys have got serious wheels. You can see there Hayden just looking a little bit ginger up that one. But he made it to the top. He's going to swing around, and it would take lightning or a snapped Achilles to stop this guy now. I'm sure that he will be able to just jog down that hill and enjoy the moment.
Yeah, so you've got Ollie Chignall, who's a sort of a 13:45, 5,000 metre man. Sam Tanner, 3:37, 1,500 metre runner, or thereabouts at the moment.
Yeah, so he did 3:39 earlier this year, which I think is the New Zealand lead currently. I can confirm that for you.
Fastest junior we've ever had over the 1,500 and the mile, Sam Tanner. So he is going to bring out a pretty big weapon shortly, one would think. And that speed on the downhill section as we watch Hayden Wilde coming into the last 500 or 600 metres. This has been an impressive display of front running from the man from Whakatane Athletic and Harrier Club, coached by Craig Kirkwood.
So here we go. Hayden Wilde coming up to pass our 3rd place female on the course. That is just phenomenal in itself. I mean, Cara is running a fantastic race. But here comes Hayden Wilde, the man of the moment. He's run an absolutely phenomenal race right from the start. Well, he waited about 100 metres before he made his move. And then he said, right, here we go, guys. I'm going to light this course up. He just clicks his watch over. That's the 10k mark. He comes into the chute. He's got plenty of energy left to celebrate it. He's still got about 80 metres to run. Just drives the arms, says hello to Mum on the live stream, and here he comes. He's going to be your national cross-country challenge champion, Hayden Wilde, 31:40. What a win, and you can't even see the other 3 in the picture. But if we can scan back to see how this is unraveling, because this is going to be really interesting. So I looked up Hayden Tanner's record, and he's got a total of 7 national records already, and he's only just turned 20.
Here we go.
So, as expected, Oscar has been dropped by these 2 speedsters, and I've got to say, the man with the most wheels out of those 2, you would think on paper would be the man who's taken the lead. brandishing the moustache. Off he goes, Sam Tanner, putting the foot down.
I'll tell you what, Ollie's going to have to be careful, but
Yeah, Oscar's got enough energy in the tank to stay with him.
comes Tanner.
But look at that good turn of speed. You can see why he's the leading 1,500 metre runner this year in New Zealand. Drives those arms. And he's going to finish about a minute and a bit behind his training buddy. And let's keep an eye on Ollie Chignall, who has to look over his shoulder, but I think Oscar's a little bit too far behind. Sam Tanner's going to pick up the silver medal. It's going to make it a 1-2 for the CK coaching team. Ollie Chignall is going to pick up a bronze on his home turf. He's pumped about that one, holding off Oscar Baines.
Great run from Oscar.
Yeah, great run, having to keep up with these speedsters. And here we go back to the women's race. Is this the...
That's one of our women's competitors. I don't think it's the front of the field.
No. So if we can... I'm just looking out the window trying to get a little update, see if the women are going past. But
There's Chris Dryden. So he's going to be fourth, I think.
Fifth.
Fifth place for Chris. Caden Shields get fourth. Connor Melton was that.
Yeah, here comes Aaron Pulford, so the 2019 New Zealand road champ, so he'll be coming through in about 7th-ish place. But all of this top 10, just phenomenal runners. And here we see Eva Goodison. She has about 1.3 Ks left to run. It looks to me like she has pulled away from Rebecca Green, who is, from what we understand, sitting in second place. But Eva's led the whole way. She led that pack of 3 through those first 4 laps, and it looks like finally she has shaken Rebecca Green.
Still there. She's a gutsy competitor. Won't be giving it away yet. She's still chasing, but Eva showing the benefits of a solid race at Waipuna Park in Tauranga a month ago, where she finished second in the Waikato Champs. And could she go one better today in this New Zealand Cross Country Challenge? Must be great when you're going past some of the men in the race as well that you're competing against too.
Absolutely. It's one of the great things, having these mixed races means that if you're up in the lead, you don't get that sense of loneliness just being out there battling by yourself. So it's great to have someone to kind of attach a leash to and pull yourself along with. But at the moment, Eva is looking really great. She's back home. She's been on scholarship in the States at the University of California.
Not surprising that she's, out the front today, given some of those times that she's run, 16:39. That would be right up there at the moment in our current women's standings. Good finish here coming today from Daniel Redman from University of Canterbury. He was hoping for a wet and windy race day today, but he's got it fine and firm instead. Kirk Madgwick from Otago also finishing behind Daniel there, as we see Eva, the smooth stride.
Yeah, she's come in with a really good game plan, just like, look, I'm going to run my race skills. If you want to stick with me, do your best. And for the first 4 laps, we thought that maybe that might not be quite enough, but she's burnt them off in this last lap as she comes into the final hill. This is the tough one, that little pinch up the hill, and then from there it's mostly downhill, so she'll breathe a little sigh of relief as she just comes around this corner, and she should, on the way back, get a little glance back to second place Rebecca Green, who's looking like she's about, 100 metres, 80 metres behind. So don't want to put the commentator's curse on it, but at the moment it looks like it is all Eva's to lose.
Michael Sutton from Waikato Bay of Plenty just coming across the line there in the senior men's. And that wind still blowing through at a fair clip See the Eva making her way down.
Yep, so at that point in the course, she can see the finish line. She can hear the speakers blaring for the finish line. She can see guys crossing the finish line. She knows that the end is nigh. Just a few more 100 meters to go, and she will have the title for the cross-country challenge here. She's had some fantastic training in the virtual run series that Athletics New Zealand put on during the first lockdown we had. She was featuring prominently, running some 5Ks in the 16s.
And she's currently training with Triathlon New Zealand as well. So her main focus is the triathlon at the moment. But when you've got that running pedigree, which she has, she's turned her skills very well today to the cross-country. And she's hoping to run the NCAA cross-country nationals when that next happens again.
Yeah, that was just confirmed that it is postponed, potentially cancelled this year. So that's a shame about that. But I'm sure Eva won't be concerned about that because she gets to run a cross-country race in her home of New Zealand in the sunshine here in Dunedin, and she's run in the front from the start. She's had to battle her way with two gritty performers that you can see just coming around the corner there. With Rebecca Green and Cara McDermott. So Eva Goodison, she's run her guts out. This is a fantastic run. Here she comes into the finish, a well-earned first place. She's going to be well under that 40-metre barrier. There she is, well-earned title. Very solid running, Jason.
Yes. Biggest win in her cross-country career in New Zealand. As we see Rebecca Green chasing down one of the male Otago runners there. And
she's got a lot of supporters on the sidelines here, and she's ran a really smart race. She's stayed with Eva as long as she could, and it was only that last lap where Eva just pulled away. But she's held
well
tough.
To Jack Shaw finishing his 10,000 metres.
So silver medal for Rebecca Green on this course that she knows so well. She wanted that finish line so bad. Claims the silver medal. And here Cara McDermott, who was in third place in that front pack of three for the whole race, and then just in that fourth lap started to slip off the back. But she's going to come through and claim that bronze medal in a time of around 40 minutes, which is very solid on this course in this wind. So third place means we swap the order around from last year's national cross country champs, with Rebecca getting third last year, switches that to a silver. Cara has to settle for the bronze this time.
Natalie Dryden, I think, just going up that last climb, heading back down to the finish line. Should see her very shortly.
Now, while we've got those flags on screen, huge thank you to Aon for all the support they give us to run athletics and cross-country all around New Zealand. Athletics Otago, being the local organising committee. Chisholm Links for letting us use your golf course. Man, it'll be a good day for golf out there, so we really appreciate using this fantastic facility. And our trust funders, Pub Charity, Line Foundation, CERT and Bendigo Valley, for their support with funding this event, including today's live stream being broadcast all around the world, thanks to Stream Shop and skysportnext, bringing you these beautiful pictures from the track here at Chisholm Links.
Yeah, and big ups to Courtney as well, McDonald, events manager for Athletics New Zealand. Courtney, you've done an amazing job in overlaying the event with all the health and safety today around this unprecedented time that we're in, and making this event possible.
We received a short novel from her in terms of the health and safety checks that needed to be amended due to level 2 COVID restrictions. So here's fourth place actually coming in. So she's ran a fantastic race, most of it solo.
She's got in front of Natalie.
So is that Deborah Lynch?
It is indeed.
Coming in. Great run from Deborah. Now I'm going to try and track down some winners for some interviews. So I'll leave you in the studio for a few seconds.
So we're going to wait patiently for those interviews with our winners today and come back to you folks with a closure for the day after the interviews. So stick around and hear some comments from our men's and women's champions, Hayden Wilde, Athletics Waikato Bay of Plenty, and Eva Goodison from Hawke's Bay. There, coming across the line for Canterbury.
Congratulations, Evie. Well done.
And congratulations there to our finisher Sabina Perez from North Harbour Bay's Athletics Club in Auckland. Her first year competing in the NZ Cross Country Challenge. Formerly ran a 2-hour 43 marathon at the US Olympic Marathon Trials in 2016. And number 379, Olivia Gold, out of the Leith Harrier Club in Otago, completes her NZ Cross Country Challenge. Followed by Emily Malloy from the University of Canterbury Athletic Club in Canterbury. And congratulations to Jessica Schofield, University of Canterbury Athletic Club, running for Canterbury today. Just over 45 minutes for her.
All right, so here we are with Hayden Wilde, the winner of the senior men's. First of all, congratulations, and how did it go out there, solo running?
Yeah, I went out and my goal was to go probably start at 3-minute pace and descend through the laps. And I looked back in the first 500 and no one went with me. I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. And then so I just carried on anyway. And Steffenberg came with me. He's another triathlete, and we worked together for the first lap. I was kind of using him for the headwinds just to kind of get me into a good position. And then from there I just started revving up the engine and just try to keep a consistent pace, but actually properly trying to descend it. And it was kind of like the same tactic as my Bay of Plenty Champs victory, with 3 races ascending and then tempo, and then just go as hard as you can at the start, and it seemed to work pretty well.
Nice one. And it looked like, because we were kind of thinking, okay, has he gone too hard too early? The pack's all together, can they hunt him down? Were you feeling that pinch sort of in those tricky 3rd, 4th laps? Were you questioning whether that was the smart choice, or did you feel like you were within yourself?
Yeah, I didn't really know what to do, because I know Steffenberg, he won the Otago race, and there's the other couple.
On this course.
Yeah, on this course, exactly. And I knew a few of the guys that you raced were in that pack, and there's a few other guys from Wellington and Christchurch as well. So, and they're all real talented runners. So I didn't really know what what I kind of did, I was like, I'll just have to stay here, try and keep as consistent as possible, because I knew that if I'm hurting and I'm trying to keep a consistent pace, they'll have to go, 15 seconds quicker per cage to try and catch up. So I know if I got a gap early, I would be able to hold them off, but I didn't expect to have about a minute lead on the third lap, so it was quite nice to go into my tempo lap with about a 70-second lead and then just smash at the end to secure the position.
Awesome. Did it feel good coming around that last bend, all downhill for the last 500 metres and knowing you had it in the bag?
Yeah, it was tough, eh? All the time you're either going up, and then you're going down, and then on the flats where we try and have a bit of a break, it was just like a real heavy headwind, so you never really got a break at all. So it was kind of just like battling the whole time. You got battling uphill, even though you had a good tailwind. It was just the hills are so steep and pinchy here, it doesn't really help too much. And then you start going with flats, and it was tough, but it was nice to come down the finish straight with the wind, trying to blast through that headwind. So that was nice.
Cool. So now, obviously, right now you would love to be in Europe racing. Some of your triathlon competitors are over there doing it. How did it feel to be back racing in New Zealand and doing cross country?
Yeah, it's my first cross country nationals, so really stoked to be here. It's actually really nice to be home as well. Cool. 6 months of the year, normally racing over there, and normally don't get to see friends and the family. But yeah, it's kind of gutting. The Triathlon Union just announced the World Championships 2 weeks out before a race, so it's very disappointing for the African, Oceanian, Asian countries that we can't compete in the World Champs, which is quite unusual. But it is what it is, and it was nice to come here and race for it was a national champs, but then changed to a challenge champ. So
they clearly need to change the World Champs to the World Challenge.
Well, they do. They need to follow suit with us, and it was nice though. It was unfortunate that Cam couldn't come here and defend his title. It would have been great to have him here. I trained with him for a couple of weeks in Rotorua, so I was unfortunate we couldn't race those boys.
Absolutely. Now let's bring in your training buddy Sam Tanner, who picked up second. So Sam, congratulations on your second. How did that feel in that last few 100 metres? We were sort of thinking, okay, has Oscar done enough work to take the sting out of your guys' legs? But obviously you had it.
Yeah, no, I could have had two options today. I was going to go, do I go till I blow with Haydo?
That rhymes. That's good.
Like bass.
Or do I just sit in the pack and just relax and trust the work that we've put in together? And so that's what I kind of did. And then I was like, looking around with 2K to go, I was like, I'm good, I'm safe, and I feel good. So I was just pretty happy with how that played out.
Yeah, totally. And so Ollie was just behind you. He was on your heels with about 200 to go, and then you put the hammer down. That feel good to just free that one up? Yeah,
it always feels nice to have the kick left in the legs at the end of the race. There's been a few races where I'm like, oh no, there's nothing left. But it was good to race Ollie and all those other boys. And Ollie actually said to me with like maybe 500 or 600 to go, he's like, you go, Sam. No one can out-kick you. I was like, oh, thanks, Ollie, and then he took off. So
love it.
Was good.
Now, so both of you guys, Hayden's supposed to be overseas doing triathlon right now. If it wasn't for COVID, you're supposed to be in the States running it in college. Like, what's the plan for both of you? Like, you're in Tauranga, you can train together. Like next few months, what sort of goals have we got?
We're on the coach group chat with Craig. We were having a bit of a yarn, and we're like, it'd be rude not to. But there's a Starg and Socks mile, and we're like, well, we might as well. We're just having a kid around. We might as well do it on the Hill City track tomorrow.
Nice.
It's the last
Really?
day. So we're thinking about it if he's got the legs, but other than that, no, I think we're just going to enjoy the rest of the season, do some road racing, and wait for track season, really, 9 to 5s, and a few other ones coming up. So try and find some leg speed. I guess we've been doing like tempo work and all that sort of stuff. We haven't really been touching any speed through the winter, so it's nice that we're actually running fast.
Jump on in, Ollie. So we've got third place. This is sort of the party interview, which is great. So the other guys were just saying how the plans for the coming summer. Congratulations, Ollie, third place on your home turf.
Thanks,
how did that feel?
It was good. It was tough, really tough course. I think that's probably the highest quality field that's been put together on New Zealand soil for God knows how many years. Yeah, it's real top quality.
If we had the Aucklanders here, it would have been just absolutely phenomenal.
No, it was really, really good race, and got beaten by two guys who I'm very happy to be beaten by.
Yeah.
Top quality.
It looked like you were pretty happy with that bronze.
Yeah, I was hurting as well. Yeah, it was very happy with that first run back in a while.
Awesome. And for you, roads and then track?
Yeah, road relays, Hill City. Gonna get the W.
Or Whakatane. Oh, dark horses, mate. Dark horses.
And then hopefully good summer season. Get a few fast 5Ks in, maybe 10K as well, and just meet a pace. Yes, boy. Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds like Matt Baxter's coming back as well. So give him a shout out. Hope he comes back. And, I think he's doing the 1 hour New Zealand record attempt at the moment. I think he is.
Yes,
1 hour.
yes, this weekend.
Yeah. Good luck to him on that.
All the best to Matt Baxter. So.
I didn't know that.
Thanks heaps, guys, and super excited to see what you guys can do domestically this summer and spring.
Awesome. Thumbs up.
Cheers, Hayden.
All right, so we have the winner of the Senior Women's Cross Country Challenge, Eva Goodison. Congratulations. And how did it go out there today?
It was a tough race for sure. 10Ks is a long way. I have been racing over in the States. I'm actually at the University of California, Davis, so I see Sam Tanner and a couple of races over there too, which is quite cool to see a few Kiwis. But the races over there are 6Ks.
Yeah.
So 10K cross country was hard work.
So were you like coming through that third lap, do I have to do another two, or can we just call it a race
there? I was tempted to just run straight
Yeah.
into the finish line, honestly. I was like, 6Ks, I'm pretty done, but yeah.
So you three had a really good pack with yourself, with Rebecca Green, the local hope, and then Cara McDermott just on your shoulder as well. Was the plan to kind of run your own race and just see what the other girls wanted to do, or were they sort of pushing you along a little bit?
Yeah, so it was so good to have competition out there today. I mean, in a global pandemic, it's amazing to be able to have a race and to have competition. So I sort of didn't really have any expectations going into the race. I did the Hawke's Bay Champs, but I was one of the only girls there, so it was a solo race. So I didn't really have any expectations going in there. I was sort of just running with them, just waiting to see who would make a move and who wouldn't. And so when Rebecca made a move, I sort of just stuck with her, and we sort of just fed off each other a little bit the whole way. And then I had that little bit in the last couple Ks to go, so just let it go from there.
Yeah, dominating performance, just leading the whole way, especially into that wind, which probably not very California-like.
No, and really not very good for tall, lanky people as well. You're kind of like a piece of plywood just forcing yourself through the wind.
A sail into the wind. And so what's the plans for you? Because obviously you were on scholarship in the States. Did you come back with COVID? Has that been the situation for you?
Yeah. So I came back in March, sort of just the next day. Mum was like, come home right now. So I just got a suitcase, took the next flight back to New Zealand. I was actually on the same plane as Sam.
Wow.
And we sort of didn't really have a plan. We're like, what's going to happen? No one really knew. So during lockdown, I was just with my family. It was actually a really good time. I don't get to spend much time with them, so we really enjoyed it there.
Ran some good 5Ks during the virtual challenge as well.
I did the Athletics New Zealand virtual challenges. They were a good training motivation, but it's sort of just waiting to hear and see what happens next. The plan is to maybe go back in January to see if they're racing over in the States, but
possibly an indoor season. Possibly cross country, or it's looking like it might be cancelled.
Cross country's done. So I'll be here for hopefully New Zealand track season 2, getting a bit of racing. I've been lucky to join the tri team in Cambridge with training a little bit with Hayden and the crew there, Nicole Van der Kay and a few of the other girls. So yeah, that's been really good to have that training group.
Yeah, well, if there's been one blessing, it's been having athletes like yourself back from the States being able to compete. And although we don't have Auckland, look, we've got a lot of the US scholarship athletes back taking part.
Good.
So,
cool.
Well done for your win, and rest up, and look forward to seeing more of you this summer.
Yes, thank you guys very much. Cool, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, folks, I'm Jason Cameron, part of your commentary team today. It's been a fantastic day of racing at Chisholm Links Golf Course here in Dunedin, Otago, for the New Zealand Cross Country Challenge, brought to you today by Pub Charity, the Lion Foundation, Certain Bendigo Valley, Aon and Athletics New Zealand, with the assistance of Athletics Otago, where we've seen some exciting new talent emerge on the cross country field today, and some established talent enhance their future credentials for higher honours. It's been a pleasure bringing this commentary to you this afternoon with Hayden Shearman, and we look forward to seeing you later in the season. Take care, and thanks for tuning in.